Hey everyone, DOS Reviews here again with a 6-month checkup on the Nix Builder Pros in Walnut on the 55 last. So, I think they're doing pretty good. Now, they don't look like they're new, but I think they look pretty good for 6 months of beating them up. I've had 2 coats of the little Nix cream that they come with. 2 coats of that. I didn't really care for that. It kind of matted down the rough out a little bit right there in the middle. See if I could find it on the boot, and a little bit on the end. I don't know, little spots here and there. I wasn't too big of a fan of the little Nix cream. It just, I don't know, it just didn't do it for me. I guess it kept everything hydrated, but I don't know. I went ahead and got some Obanoff's oil and saddle soap. And I went ahead and gave these guys a good cleaning over the last couple of days. You still see a little bit of oil down there. Honestly, these boots are doing really good. The outside, you know, you can tell they have been worn. They're not as beat up as some people. I haven't been babying these boots, but I haven't deliberately been, you know, messing them up. I've gone on a couple hikes, but mostly just working. I work retail. Yes, these boots are overkill for retail. The Builder Pro steel toe with the red X. Everything's kind of holding in good. I know I was curious about the red X sole. Really, the sole looks pretty new. I have a cute few spots right there where the, come on, focus, where the thread has finally worn through, but I haven't even worn the thread out all the way. I walk probably at least 7,500 steps a day, at least, when I'm working. And I have days where I do go up to, you know, 22,000, 25,000. I think that's about the most I've seen in a while. The biggest wear point on here is the heel right there. Even then, it's not that bad. That's 6 months of me walking quite a bit. Weighing about 250. And that's as much wear as I got. Really, it's not that bad for 6 months. I don't see why these boots aren't going to last me quite a bit while more. Even if I have to get them, well, when I have to get them resold, they're going to last me quite a while. We're not even talking about rebuilding yet. Here's this one. So it looks like I have some wear on the outside right there, and then on my heel. But still, 6 months ain't that bad. I'm kind of notorious for dragging my heels, so it's really not too bad. Honestly, these boots have been really good. Ordered them September 2nd, 2022. And I got them October 13th, 2022. I did the quick ship. And that was the quickest option, of course. And got them pretty quick. But they're pretty much as base as you can get. You know, you can get a lineman shank, you can get a toe cap. lineman patch, where if you don't know the lineman shank, if you kind of see, it kind of bows out a little bit there, it makes that all flat. So you can stand on, you know, ladders and gaps and stuff without the pressure all being right there. It spreads the pressure out the whole way. Lineman patch goes right here. Patch of leather, extra patch of leather, just extra protection right there, and then a toe cap. You know, extra protection on the toe. Shoot, they're holding up good so far. I don't think I would ever need a toe cap or a lineman patch. You know, that might change if I ever get a different job, but going with those options seems like a bit much for what I do. As it is, these boots are a bit much for what I do. You know, I wanted something comfy. I wanted something that would last and that I could rebuild. So once these guys' time is up, I don't just throw them in the trash. You know, I can get them to last a couple years longer. You know, I've heard of people having them 15, 20 years. So I can hope for that at least. Couple things, if you're new to Nicks and you stumbled on this video, well, it's all the same. Nicks, Franks, JK, Whites, Westco, all the big Pacific Northwest brands. You know, you can get a resole where they just take the sole, you know, take it off, slap you a new one on. You have all your same foot impressions on the leather on the inside, so there shouldn't be much, if any, break-in. And then you can do that a couple times, and then once this gets worn out, the lower, I believe, vamp and heel counter if I am on my game today. This leather and this leather down all gets replaced. And you keep the upper portion, which is still broken into your foot and leg, and then everything new. So you do have to break it in, but you know, you get more life out of your boots that way. Quite a bit more life. And I think I'm probably going to stay Pacific Northwest for a long time. I don't know if anything can dethrone the Nicks boots. I am thinking about getting a pair of Franks. They seem like they have a really good company, really good morals and stuff. And I just want to support them. So I might be getting a pair of Nicks front range, or sorry, Franks front range. We'll see. We'll see how things go. So, a couple things. I do keep up with these boots pretty good. I've only used the Nicks cream on them twice, and then I used saddle soap once, and I used the Obanoff's oil once. Beyond that, my girlfriend gave me, I think it's supposed to be a hairbrush, but I just kind of just give it a little brush, and it keeps up with, you know, taking dirt off and keeping the hairs fluffy. Now, like I said, the Nicks cream did lay it down, and I just have not been able to get it to stand up again. You know, it might stand up for like half a second, and then it just kind of mats down again. That being said, I have heard that you can use like a steel brush. I'm not sure if I would do that, but I have used the nylon brush quite a bit, and that's fine. Even that, I was like, I don't know if I want to do that whenever I first started wearing these boots and cleaning them, but no, yeah, the nylon brush for sure works great. But I have seen and heard of people using like a wire brush. That I don't know if I'm going to try. Or if I do, it just be like a little hit to see what I can do. Couple things. Give you a quick rundown. Going off memory here, it took probably 2 months to break in. A month to start feeling good, but 2 months to really break in. And then it seems like as I wear them, they get more and more comfy. One thing I will knock on these is if you are just standing, that's what you do, you stand. No walking around, you just stand. These boots do hurt your feet, hurt my feet at least. Now if you're walking around, they're great. But if you're literally just standing, these might not be for you. You might want, you know, something like a Red Wing, something with a little squish inside. Because these are beefy boots. Let's see, what else can I say? The bottom of the foot was probably the hardest to break in. Now, when I first got them, they were like super stiff. And even now, it seems like they're pretty stiff. I mean, they're pretty stiff. But when you're wearing them, they just bend with you. You know, I can crouch just fine with these boots. It is a lot of boot, though. Personal, you know, what you want, what you look for in a boot goes a long way. Part of the reason why I got these boots in particular was I thought they were super cool looking. You know, I like that logger heel. You know, I just like the sole, the V100 sole, the Red X. I liked that. You know, it was between the Knicks Builder Pros, the Frank's Commanders, JK Super Duties, White's, oh gosh, what's White's? Smoke Jumpers, the white smoke jumpers, and kind of the Westco Job Masters, kind of right there at the bottom of the list. But I ended up going with Knicks just because they were a little bit more established. I had heard a lot of people complaining about White's squeak. So, you know, somewhere in here, in the middle, you take steps and it squeaks. And I heard that a lot. Not saying it would happen to you if you got a pair of Whites, but I heard it enough where I wanted to make the choice to not go that direction. That being said, White's is the oldest of the companies up there in the Pacific Northwest making boots. So if you're about the, you know, the original, I guess technically they're the original. If I remember right, White started, and then Knicks worked for White's, quit White's, made Knicks, and then Knicks was around for a while, and then Frank worked for Knicks, and then Frank quit and made Frank's. So they all kind of tie back to White's, and I think JK worked for Knicks. I want to say he worked for them for a while before starting JK. But if you're looking for like the original, White's. Westco kind of was its own little thing, I think in the 30s, 1930s, if I remember right. I'm not 100% sure on Westco. But Knicks started in 1964. And couldn't be happier. You know, I might go with Frank's next time, but that's not because I don't like my Knicks. It's just, you know, you want to experience other brands, support other people, smaller businesses. Or at least that's my mentality with this. see, original, I still have the original false tongues, which if you don't know, it just protects this area right there from the wear from the laces rubbing into the actual tongue and making a hole. I believe if you get a hole in your tongue, you can patch it. I think Nick's will patch it, and I think Frank's will patch it. But, you know, that's like an additional fee on top of like a rebuild or a resole. So why not throw the false tongues in there, make it look cooler while you wear it, and protect your boots. Original laces, I have heard a lot of people, you know, breaking these leather laces left and right. They do feel a little thinner. Well, they are thinner, but they feel, you know, weaker the more I use the boots. You know, every day you're tightening them, and it's just pulling it out little by little. I think when I bought these boots, the laces were like 90-something inches, and I just measured them before I laced them back up, and they were 104 inches. So they do stretch. They are probably not as strong as, you know, an iron lace or a generation lace, but they're holding up pretty good for me. I guess don't just rip on them and get these boots as tight as you can every time. It'll probably last you. I am looking to get some new laces, but I think that's just because I'm afraid they'll break. And then I want to throw a little, you know, I might get some green laces or some red and black laces, some lumberjack looking laces. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But I think I might want to throw a little bit of bling on there. Let's see, is there anything else I can think of? I guess if you're just barely looking into getting Pacific Northwest boots, a couple things to know. It does take a while to get your boots. So it took me like 6 weeks, and I did the quick ship option. JK has like an expedited shipping, and I think JK's overall the quickest. I think JK's also the most expensive when it comes to custom boots. You know, custom options. They have their stock boots where it's just the stock options. But they rack up the price quick. And then there's like $100, you know, custom build fee or something like that. So you're paying for the boot, the options for the boot, and you're paying for them to put the options on the boot, if that makes sense. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But the sooner you decide you want a pair of these, get on it. Is the sooner you're going to get them. One story I like to tell is I had a tattoo artist in California that I really wanted to get some tattoos from. And he had like a 2-year waiting list. I was like, man, I'm not going to give a deposit and all this for a 2-year waiting list. I'm not going to get on a list. And thinking back, I would have got my tattoos 3 years ago, you know? So the sooner you're on the list, the sooner they're going to get the boots out to you, the sooner you start wearing them. So I will say break-in was a little rough. Not terrible, but a little rough. I never had to take off my boots halfway through a shift, like a lot of people do. But they still hurt. I just kind of powered through it, though. You might want to do, you know, a couple hours here, a couple hours there. I did wear these boots a lot at home, trying to help break them in. But, you know, the only way to do it is actually just walk around, actually work in them. Do I have any other complaints? Probably the biggest one I have, look at that that little stitch popped pretty quick in. I think I've talked about it in some other videos, but as you can see, you know, I'm missing like 3 stitches. So this broke. Now, I'm not too worried about it. It got to that point, and then it hasn't gone any further. And it does have the 3 rows of stitching here. So I'm not super worried about that. It was just more of a, can't believe my new boots popped a stitch. But I guess they're not quite new anymore. They still look really good to me. They are definitely darker. They're not as, you know, showroom quality, I guess. Check out my earlier videos if you want to see what they looked like brand new. Well, not, I guess I didn't make a brand new video, but I made a 1 month and a 3 month? 1 month and a 3 month video, something like that. And you can tell that these are a lot darker. Both of those videos I hadn't applied any of the grease, I don't believe. But these last 3 months, I did the 2 of the NYX grease and then 1 of the open offs oil. But they're still holding up pretty good. Right now, I'm pretty much just letting y'all admire it for a little bit longer. If you're like me, you just like to look at boot stuff. Hear people talk about boots, so just let y'all look at it. I do always wear pants, so you know, the pants go right there or something. So all the wear should be just below here, because you know, the smooth uppers, they look great. The rough out lowers, I still think they look great. They just don't look as good as they did new. But I guess that's patina. That's life. The way things go. You use it, it's going to look different than when you had it new. Is what it is. I have had boots with like big old holes missing out the front. You know, boots where my heel is just within just a few months. These guys are holding up really good. So I'll give y'all one last little look over. I don't really think I have much to add on to that. I guess quick summary. I like to complain about that stitch breaking in the back. Break-in was a little rough, but not terrible. I had 1 blister from these boots. I think it was my left foot, my pinky toe. My sock actually became bunched up right there in between the toe and the edge of the boot. And over a long day, it just wore a hole. Well, it didn't wear a hole. It wore really rough on my toe. And I had a big old, it was like a second mini pinky toe sticking out of my pinky toe. It was pretty rough. So I did have to have 1 day where I switched back to my old Red Wings for a day. Let that kind of heal up. Probably should have waited a little bit longer, but I had like 4 days off in a row, so it kind of healed after that. Complaints. I'm probably going to make another video talking about socks. Now, if you're just getting into these kind of boots, you know, think of it this way. This is kind of how I rationalized it and kind of reasoned it out. All right, you get a brand new pair of boots. Do you really want to wear the same old socks? Or do you want to get some good socks? You know, after reading up and kind of looking at videos and all that, I did decide to get some pairs of Darn Tough socks. I don't know, like, Darn Tough. They are a lot squishier. All the fabrics are a lot tighter. It's a lot better made sock. with a lifetime warranty. So you get a new truck. Are you gonna put your seats from your old truck in your new truck? Or are you gonna get new seats with your new truck? Kind of how I thought of it. You know, put your old seats in your new truck. It's good, you know. It's not gonna be as good as if you had the nice new socks. You know, the premium socks. Or premium seat. I think I got away from the metaphor. Get you some new socks. And I don't know why, but I kind of had to fight harder to get the $26 pair of socks than I had to fight to get a $600 pair of boots. But my 2 cents, look up some videos on Darn Tough socks. They seem really good so far. Get you some Darn Tough socks. I do think it makes a difference in the boot while wearing it. So, my 2 cents. If y'all have any questions, I'm going to try to keep up with the comments. But overall, I'm really happy with these boots. You know, I hope to get quite a bit more time out of them. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Last thing. How I hinted on these boots were too much boot for me. They really are too much boot. I don't need a big old heel. I don't need the thick tread. If I could redo it, I'd probably get a NYX Ranger with the 530 mini lug. Because, you know, you're gonna get a lot of life out of those. Don't get me wrong, but they do hold rocks like nobody's business. So if you are going in and out, you know, maybe a customer's house or something, and step in rocks, and then you check the rock inside, and then you scratch the floor, or you know, if you're doing that, I might recommend the mini lug sole. Also with these boots, you know, I live in New Mexico. I have goat heads. If you don't know what a goat head is, it's a little, it's a sticker. It's like a round sticker, but with like a bunch of barbs, kind of looking like a tack. Or a jack. You know, you throw the marble down, you pick up the thing real quick. So they suck. Do not walk in goat heads with these. The boots can handle them, but you're gonna take in like half a plant's worth on the bottom. Like, I had to get out my pocket knife and just spend like 30 minutes just picking them out before I could bring these boots inside. And if I had a flatter sole, like a wedge sole or the 535, I can just kind of rub my feet on the ground and take care of most of them. That did not work for these. So I probably would have gotten either a Ranger, the NYX Ranger, steel toe still, because I drop stuff on my feet all the time, or at least often enough to notice it. I might have got a wedge sole. I had a wedge sole for my Red Wings, and I like those. I really like those. I still wear them. They're my new outside boots, because I can just kick the goat heads off real quick. Just rub my feet on the ground. Goat head's gone. Doesn't carry any rocks. But these are a lot of boot. But I am happy with them. I am really happy with them. You will get compliments. I had, you know, one guy even call out, "Hey, are you a wildland firefighter?" No, I just like the boots. So you will get a little bit more attention wearing these boots. Expect a long life out of them. As you can see, 6 months. They look pretty good to me for 6 months. I'm fairly rough on boots, not the roughest, but get you a pair if if you really need a good pair of boots, if you burn through boots like I did, you know, a boot every year and a half, something like that, these boots look like they're gonna pay for themselves pretty quick. You know, 6 months, barely anywhere. You know, I should be able to do that a couple times more before I get a resole. And they just seem really good. Can't complain, besides the little couple things that I complained about. Yeah. Good boots. Maybe a bit much for me. Maybe go wedge sole or mini lug if you're working inside. Or you can be like me and just get these because they look cool. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good day, and I will try to keep up with any questions y'all might have. Oh, see that? Just a little, looks like where they terminated the threads. I don't feel it though. When I wear it, I don't feel it. Okay, now for realsies. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for watching. Any questions, just leave them down below. I will try to answer them the best I can.